Pakikipag-ugnayan sa multisectoral para sa iisang adhikain. Definisyon. Ang ugnayang multisectoral ay tumutukoy sa pinagplanuhang pakikipag-ugnayan sa iba't ibang kasapi tulad ng pamahalaan, pangkalusugan, kalikasan at pananalapi, mamamayan at mga pribadong sektor upang makabuo ng isang palisiya. Sa pamamagitan pinagsama-samang talino, galing, kasanayan, kapasidad ng mga kasapi sa pagbubuo ng isang adhikain na may mas malawak na kapakinabangan para sa lahat. Kaugnayan sa polisiya. Dahil sa pagpaplano at pag-uugnay ng kakayahan ng bawat kasapi sa epektibong pakikipag-ugnayan ay maiiwasan ang limitasyon sa polisiya, mapapabilis ang pagpapalaganap at pagtugon kung ihahambing sa isang sektor lamang ang magpapatupad. Ang ugnayan sa lahat ng ahensya ng pamahalaan ay mahalaga upang makita at malaman ang mga magkakahalintulad na oportunidad. Ang matagumpay na multisectoral na ugnayan ay nakasandig sa politika, ekonomiya at lipunan. Ito ay nangangailangan ng pagganap sa lahat ng kasapi. Mga puntos para sa matagumpay na kapakinabangan. 1. Kilalanin ang kahalagahan at kakayanan ng mga bawat kasapi sa pagbubuo ng polisiya. 2. Marapat na makipag-ugnayan sa mas malawak na mga grupo o sektor at bumuo ng isang pinagkaisang mensahe at hakbangin upang maitaas ang impluwensya at kakayanan ng mga kasapi. 3. Matatag na ugnayan sa lahat ng kasapi upang magkatuwang na makamit ang adhikain. Ang ganitong uri ng ugnayan ay nangangailangan ng matatag na pamunuan, upang mapakilos ang maraming kasapi, makagawa ng balangkas na tutugon sa mga pangangailangan ng mga kasapi at ang mamagitan sa mga ugnayan ng mga kasapi. Mga ehemplo ng mga pinagkaisahang polisiya: health and nutrition, OWA return ng OFW programs, human rights, territorial dispute, violence against women and social injustices and children, human trafficking, unfair labor treatment, poverty, land reform, education, political abuses. Ang iba't ibang ahensya ng pamahalaan tulad ng pangkalusugan, social welfare, edukasyon at pamahalaang federal ng rehiyon. Pribadong sector, civil society, businesses, kabataan, iba't ibang foundations o mga organisasyon. Mga international donors, UN, WHO at iba pa ay maaaring magsama-sama upang bumuo ng isang polisiya para sa pangkalusugan na kung saan ang bawat kasapi ay may tungkulin sa kabuoang adhikain.
Well, I think collaboration is particularly important when we're talking about disaster risk reduction. Disasters affect all parts of our community, and in a lot of ways they can be very complex in their nature. So by engaging as many stakeholders as possible, we can have the best opportunity of finding the most innovative and effective solutions.
It's clear that the disasters that we're facing now are so complex and so large that the government sector is not large enough to really respond to every need. And so it really takes all of us. It takes folks in the private sector and the non-governmental, nonprofit sector, and the government working together to help communities recover from the scale of disasters we're having now.
Everybody must come together to work effectively and share their resources and needs and requirements and capabilities so we can build a strong, cohesive, holistic response to both preparing for a disaster and when a disaster strikes.
I think that collaboration between multiple sectors and multiple agencies is important due to the improvement in response to the community, to the logical distribution of assets, and to better utilize the capabilities that each particular unit or each particular organization brings to the table.
You have to work across sectors to optimize resources, both financial and decision-making resources, so that you can make the best decisions, both up front and while you're doing the work of disaster recovery, as well as building resilience in communities. We know it's critical for us to work with the public sector, the philanthropic sector and nonprofit leaders, as well as community members in the private sector, to optimize our resources to get that work done.
Yeah, because each sector has a very unique assets and strong point. So the collaboration creates some innovation and create maybe great approach to the long-term assistance. So multi-sector approach is a very important approach, I think.
So today I'm going to talk about implementation of public policy network approach. Group of scholars believe that good implementation can be produced not by top-down and bottom-up approach, but from network approach. So what is policy network arrangement and how can it offers alternative to top-down and bottom-up approaches? Network governance emphasizes on importance of collaborative approach with partners across sectors, levels, and many actors in providing public services. For example, government agencies, private sectors, and the public. Ansel and Gash 2008 defined network governance as arrangement of one or more public agencies and non-state stakeholders in collective decision-making that is formal and deliberative and aims to implement public policy or manage public assets. Emerson et al. 2012 defined network governance as a collaboration process of public policy decision-making and engage people across boundaries of public agencies, levels of government, and the public and civic spheres to carry out public purpose that could not otherwise be accomplished. The shift is known as from government to governance. It is a process of public decision-making and the governing of society and economy. It is to mobilize and engage citizens and organizations in development, implementation, and monitoring of public policy. The rise of network society is what causes the shift of network governance and the new collaborative ethos of public institutions. It is a more fundamental transformation and proliferation of the network paradigm. Let's look into Netherlands' sophisticated arrangement and high-quality housing as an example of network governance. It involves in collaboration with many levels and sectors of governance, developer builders, NGOs, designers, citizens, and others that involve in complex process of delivering housing. Social housing, for example, is coordinated by large and powerful NGOs called housing corporations that have delivery of affordable, high-quality housing as their core mission. These are how housing arrangements in Netherlands look like. The traditional method has a hierarchical organizations. It can be either bottom-up or top-down approach. In contrast to network governance, there is no one entity on top. It connects constituent groups without hierarchy, unlike the traditional state government. In networks, stakeholders can envision what they want to achieve together and then choose metrics for measuring their progress. This is to improve efficiency by sharing information and coordinating parallel conservation efforts on problems of local interest. Networks rely on social connection and commitment of shared goals to motivate constituent groups to resolve conflicts and adhere to the collective agreement that they have made. As good as it seems, does network governance have to face any challenges? If there are, what are the challenges? There is a huge problem in accountability. If decision-making is shared across multiple levels and networks, so who is ultimately responsible for the outcomes of policies and decisions? Is it you, or you? There are also vulnerable groups who have a hard time making their voices heard, for example, ethnic minorities and elderly. They only have little saying on how certain policies may affect them. Now, network governance has emerged as the only appropriate tool for managing the complexity of modern societies. So, with experience and working knowledge of the benefits of network structures and understanding of what outcomes can be expected, decision makers may be more prepared to make changes in the future. And as a citizen, we should read more and collect relevant knowledge as it will strengthen democracy and ensure social sustainability.